Rain hits the windows of Elena Brooks's apartment like bullets. It's 3 in the morning in Savannah, Georgia, and she's awake because mothers of 6-year-olds learn to sleep with one eye open. But tonight, it's different. Tonight, the silence between the raindrops feels wrong. She moves through the darkness of her living room, checking locks she already knows are secure, peering through blinds at streets that should be empty. Her instincts are screaming. The same instincts that kept her alive in Mogadishu, in Aleppo, in all the war zones where she built her reputation as the journalist who wouldn't back down. The camera light on her laptop flickers. Just once. Just enough. Elena's blood turns to ice. Someone is watching. She moves fast, quiet, years of training taking over. She wakes Leah without words. Just a hand over her daughter's mouth and a finger to her lips. Leah knows this drill. They've practiced it. Elena prays they never have to use it for real. But here they are. In the bathroom, door locked, Elena checks her burner phone. The one she keeps charged and hidden. The one she swore she'd never use. 3 new messages, all photos. Leah walking to school yesterday morning. Pink backpack, pigtails, completely unaware. Leah at the playground, laughing on the swings. Leah in their kitchen window, visible from the street, eating cereal. The last message is text. You should have stopped digging. Elena's hands shake. She knows what this is about. The shipping container investigation. 3 months of following the trail of human trafficking from the coast of Georgia through a network so vast, so protected. It reaches into government offices and corporate boardrooms. She found the names, she found the roots, she found proof. And now they've found her daughter. She looks at Leah, huddled in the bathtub, clutching her stuffed rabbit, trying so hard to be brave. Elena makes a decision she swore she'd never make. She pulls up a contact she saved 7 years ago, before she ran, before she disappeared, before she knew she was carrying his child. The phone rings halfway across the world. In Busan, South Korea, it's evening. Jae-Hoon Kwon stands in his penthouse office overlooking the port, watching container ships move in choreographed precision. He controls most of what moves through this harbor, the legal shipments and the ones that don't appear on any manifest. Men in expensive suits kneel before him, begging for mercy over a failed deal. He's bored with their excuses. His enforcer, Viper, stands by the window, waiting for orders. Jae-Hoon is about to give them when his personal line rings. The one only 3 people have the number to. His mother, his lawyer, and a woman he hasn't heard from in 7 years. He answers. The men stop begging. The room goes silent. Elena's voice is different than he remembers. Harder. Desperate. Jae-Hoon, I need your help. He closes his eyes. Hearing her say his name after all this time does something to his chest, something painful and unwelcome. What happened? Someone's threatening my daughter. Your daughter. Silence stretches across continents, across oceans, across 7 years of absence. Jae-Hoon does the math instantly. When did you leave? 7 years ago. How old is she? 6. More silence. Viper watches his boss's expression change. Wei sees something he's never seen before. Fear, not for himself, for someone else. I'll make a call. Jae-Hoon's voice is different now. Stay where you are. Don't open the door for anyone. I'm sending people. Elena, why didn't you tell me? Because I knew what you were. What you are. And I didn't want my daughter growing up in your world. She hangs up. Jae-Hoon stands there, phone still pressed to his ear, processing information that's rewriting everything he thought he knew about his life. He has a daughter, a 6-year-old daughter, who's being threatened because of her mother's work. A daughter who exists because the only woman he ever loved ran away rather than stay with him. Viper speaks carefully. Sir, what do you need? Everything. Jae-Hoon's voice is cold now, controlled, lethal. I need surveillance on an address in Savannah. I need a protection team mobilized within the hour. I need every contact we have in Georgia activated, and I need to know who's threatening them. Find out who's behind this trafficking network. Find out who sent those messages. Find out everything, and Viper. Yes, sir. If anyone touches them before my people arrive, I want names. I want locations. I want them erased. Understood. Viper makes calls. Within minutes, Jae-Hoon's network is moving. Men boarding private planes, hackers pulling digital footprints, contacts in American law enforcement being activated with carefully worded requests and generous donations. Jae-Hoon stands at his window, watching the port, thinking about a woman who walked away from him because she saw too clearly what he was. A criminal, a kingpin, a man who built an empire on moving things that shouldn't be moved, but also a man who, 7 years ago, would have burned down the world for her, would have walked away from everything if she'd asked. She never asked, she just left. And now she's calling because someone is threatening their daughter. His daughter. He doesn't know her name. Doesn't know if she looks like him or like Elena. Doesn't know her voice or her laugh or what she's afraid of. But he knows with absolute certainty that he will kill anyone who tries to harm her. In Savannah, Elena holds Leah in the locked bathroom, listening to footsteps in her apartment. Someone picked her lock. Someone is inside. She texts the number Jae-Hoon called from. They're here. Help isn't coming fast enough. Elena makes another decision. She opens the bathroom window, the one that leads to the fire escape. It's 3 stories up and raining and dangerous. But staying is more dangerous. She puts Leah on her back, wraps her daughter's arms around her neck, and climbs. The metal is slick with rain. Her hands slip. She catches herself. Keeps moving. Below them, she hears her apartment door crash open, hears voices, angry and searching. They're in the wrong rooms. They're checking the bedroom first. Elena reaches the ground, sets Leah down, takes her hand, and runs. No car. No plan. Just away. They make it 2 blocks before a black SUV screeches to a stop in front of them. Elena puts Leah behind her, ready to fight, ready to die fighting if that's what it takes. The passenger window rolls down. A Korean man in his 40s leans out. Elena Brooks. We're with Kwon. Get in. Now. Elena hesitates. Trust is not something she gives easily. But Leah is shaking, soaked, terrified. And those footsteps are getting closer. She gets in. The SUV moves before her door is fully closed. The driver doesn't speak. The man in the passenger seat hands her a phone. He's on the line. Elena takes it. Her hands are shaking. Jae-Hoon's voice is steady. Are you hurt? No? Is she hurt? No? Her name. Elena's throat tights. Leah? Leah Brooks. There's a pause. Then, Leah. He says it like he's testing the weight of it, like he's memorizing it. You're going to the airport. My plane is waiting. You'll be in Seoul by tomorrow evening. Jae-Hoon, I can't just, yes you can. He's not asking, he's telling. These people, whoever they are, they know where you live. They know your routines. They know everything. You can't fight this alone. I'm not running to Korea. Then you're sentencing your daughter to death. The words hit like a slap. Elena looks at Leah, curled up beside her, still clutching that stupid stuffed rabbit, looking so small and scared. You promise me she'll be safe. I promise you I will die before I let anyone touch her. Elena believes him. That's the terrifying part. She believes him completely. The airport is chaos in the rain. The SUV pulls directly onto the tarmac, where a private jet sits waiting, stares down, engines warming. Elena is escorted up with Leah. No security check, no questions, just straight into luxury that makes her journalist instincts scream about corruption and privilege. But right now, she doesn't care. Right now, she just wants Leah safe. The plane is empty, except for 2 more security personnel who position themselves at the front. A flight attendant offers food, blankets, anything they need. Leah falls asleep almost immediately, exhausted from fear and adrenaline. Elena can't sleep. She sits in the leather seat, watching her daughter breathe, thinking about the man who made all this possible with one phone call. Jae-Hoon Kwon. She met him 8 years ago in Seoul, when she was covering a story about corporate corruption in the shipping industry. He was her source. Anonymous at first, feeding her information through encrypted channels. Then they met in person. 1 meeting became 2. 2 became regular. Regular became personal. She knew what he was. He never lied about it. But he was also brilliant, darkly funny, protective in ways that made her feel safe, even when she knew she shouldn't. They fell into something that wasn't quite love, but definitely wasn't just information trading. It was dangerous. It was addictive. It was everything her rational mind told her to run from. And she did run. When she found out she was pregnant, she ran. Because bringing a child into his world wasn't an option. Because loving him meant accepting things she couldn't accept as a journalist, as a person with a conscience. Because she knew, deep down, that staying meant choosing between her integrity and her heart. So she chose her integrity, chose her daughter's safety, chose distance. Until tonight, when distance became the most dangerous place to be. The flight is long, 14 hours of watching Leah sleep, of checking her phone for updates, of trying to understand how her investigation into trafficking led to threats against her child. The shipping containers, the routes through Savannah, the names she uncovered. Someone powerful wanted her silenced. Someone with enough reach to find her home, her routines, her daughter's school. Someone who didn't care about collateral damage. When they land in Seoul, it's evening. The humidity hits Elena like a wall. She hasn't been here in 7 years. The city has changed. Or maybe she has. Another black SUV is waiting. More silent security. They drive through streets Elena used to know, through neighborhoods that feel both familiar and foreign, until they reach a building she's never seen before. 30 floors of glass and steel, exclusive and private. The penthouse elevator requires a key card. They ride up in silence. When the doors open, they step into a space that's more architectural magazine than home. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, minimalist furniture, art that probably costs more than most people's houses. And standing by the windows, silhouetted against the Seoul skyline, is Jae-Hoon Kwon. He turns when they enter. Elena's breath catches. He's older, sharper somehow. The softness she remembered, the humanity she used to see in his eyes when they were alone, it's buried deeper now, covered by years of building his empire, of becoming exactly what she ran from. But then his gaze shifts to Leah, and everything changes. His expression cracks. Just for a moment. Just enough. Leah hides behind Elena's legs, peering around at this stranger, who feels dangerous even to a 6-year-old's instincts. Jae-Hoon slowly, carefully, lowers himself to one knee, bringing himself to Leah's eye level. His voice, when he speaks, is softer than Elena has ever heard it. "Hello, Leah." Leah doesn't answer. Just stares at him with Elena's eyes in a face that has Jae-Hoon's bone structure. The genetic evidence is undeniable. "I'm a friend of your mother's. I'm going to make sure you're safe." "Okay." Leah nods slightly. Then she looks up at Elena. "Mama, I'm hungry." Elena's eyes burn with tears she refuses to shed. "Of course, baby. Let's get you some food." A woman appears from somewhere in the penthouse, older, Korean, with kind eyes and efficient movements. She introduces herself as Mrs. Kim, the housekeeper. She's prepared a room for them, has food ready, speaks English with a British accent. She takes Leah's hand gently. "Come with me, little one. Let's find you something good to eat. Are you allergic to anything?" Leah looks back at Elena for permission. Elena nods. "Go ahead, baby. I'll be right here." Mrs. Kim leads Leah away toward what must be the kitchen, chatting softly about what kinds of food she likes. And then Elena and Jae-Hoon are alone. 7 years of silence stretches between them. He speaks first. "You had my daughter." "I had my daughter." "Not everything is yours, Jae-Hoon. She's 6 years old, Elena. 6 years of not knowing I had a child." His voice is controlled, but there's rage underneath. Rage at himself. Rage at the situation. Rage that he's wasted 6 years. "I did what I thought was right. You thought raising her alone was right. You thought keeping her from me was right." Elena's own anger rises. "Yes. I thought keeping her away from a world of crime and violence and people who settle disputes with bullets was the right choice. How radical of me. You could have told me. You could have let me decide what kind of father I wanted to be. You would have tried to keep us. You would have pulled us into your world." Elena steps closer. "You can't help it, Jae-Hoon. This is who you are. This is what you do. Look at where we are right now. Look at why we're here. I'm here because your work made you a target." His voice is cold now. "I'm here because the world you chose, the righteous journalist exposing corruption, put a target on our daughter's back. At least my world I can control. Your world, your justice and truth, it just makes you vulnerable." The words hit hard because they're partially true. Elena's investigation did put Leah at risk. Her refusal to back down, her determination to expose the trafficking network, it led to this. They stand there, two people who once meant everything to each other, now separated by choices and years and fundamental disagreements about how to survive in a world that doesn't play fair. Jae-Hoon breaks first. His shoulders drop slightly. His voice softens. "I'm sorry. You came to me for help, and I'm arguing with you." Elena's anger drains away, leaving exhaustion. I'm sorry too. I should have told you. When I found out I was pregnant, I should have given you the chance to decide what kind of father you wanted to be, even if I wouldn't have stayed. He nods, accepting the apology. Then, can I ask you something? Yes. Does she know about me? No. As far as she knows, her father wasn't in the picture. Something passes across his face. Pain, maybe. Or regret. Jae-Hoon walks to his desk, pulls out a tablet, brings it to Elena. These are the men who were in your apartment. His people work fast. The screen shows surveillance footage, facial recognition results, known associates. All of it less than 12 hours after the threat. They're contractors, hired by someone in the trafficking network you've been investigating. But here's where it gets interesting. He swipes to another image. This route, these containers, this network. It's not independent. It's connected to operations I've been monitoring, operations that compete with some of my business interests. Elena processes this. You're saying the people threatening us are your competition. I'm saying the world is smaller than you think. The trafficking ring you're exposing, it's run by people who've been trying to edge into my territory for years. So what does that mean? It means that protecting you protects my interests. It means I have resources, motivation, and absolutely no moral limitations when it comes to destroying the people who threatened my daughter. He says the last part with such cold certainty that Elena remembers exactly why she ran. This man, when threatened, when protecting what's his, he becomes something inhuman, something efficient and terrifying. But right now, inhuman and terrifying is exactly what Leah needs. They're interrupted by Leah's laughter from the kitchen. The sound is so normal, so pure, that both of them turn toward it. Mrs. Kim has her decorating cookies, flour on her nose, completely distracted from the fear of the last 24 hours. Jae-Hoon's expression softens again. She's beautiful. She's everything. Elena's voice cracks. And I will do anything to keep her safe. Even trust you, even bring her into this. I know what that cost you. He looks at her directly now. I know what you think of me, what I am, what I do. And you're not wrong. But Elena, I swear on everything I have, I will not let anything happen to her. Elena wants to believe him, needs to believe him. So she does. The days that follow are strange. Leah adjusts to the penthouse with the resilience of childhood. She loves Mrs. Kim, loves the view from the windows, loves the fact that she has her own room bigger than their entire apartment in Savannah. Elena works with Jae-Hoon's security team, giving them everything she has on the trafficking investigation. Names, routes, evidence. They absorb it all, cross-reference it with their own intelligence. The picture that emerges is bigger than Elena realized. The network isn't just moving people, it's moving weapons, drugs, money. It's an empire built on suffering, protected by bribes and threats and strategic killings, and it's run by a man named Marcus Hale, Elena's editor, the man who encouraged her investigation, the man who gave her access, resources, support, the man who sold her out the moment she got too close to the truth. When Elena sees his name on Jae-Hoon's intelligence report, she stops breathing. No, it can't be. Jae-Hoon is beside her immediately. What? Marcus Hale. He's my editor. He's the one who knew everything. Jae-Hoon's jaw tightens. He's also the one who ordered the hit on you, sent those messages, paid the contractors. Everything. Elna's world tilts. Marcus. The man who mentored her, who taught her how to investigate, how to protect sources, how to follow the truth wherever it led. That man was running a trafficking empire. How did I not see it? Because he's good at hiding. Jae-Hoon pulls up more files. He's been doing this for 15 years, using his position as an editor to identify journalists who might get too close, either corrupting them or eliminating them. You're not the first. You're just the first who got away. Elena feels sick. Every story she worked on, every source she protected, every piece of evidence she brought to Marcus, thinking he was on her side. He was always 10 steps ahead, always steering her just close enough to look legitimate, but never close enough to actually threaten him. Until she got too close. Until she found something even he couldn't control. What did I find? Jae-Hoon swipes through documents. You found the route through Savannah, the specific containers, the timing, the handlers. You found evidence that connects directly to 3 senators, 2 judges, and a dozen corporate executives. You found something that could bring down people who consider themselves untouchable. So he decided to make me untouchable instead, by threatening Leah, by making sure I knew that pursuing this story meant sacrificing my daughter. Exactly. And it would have worked. Elena looks at Jae-Hoon. Except I called you. Except you called me. They sit in silence, both understanding that this moment, this alliance between them, it's built on shared desperation. She needed his protection. He needed to protect what's his. It's not romantic. It's not a reunion. It's survival. But then Leah runs in, still covered in cookie flour, laughing about something Mrs. Kim said. And she stops when she sees them sitting together. She looks at Jae-Hoon with open curiosity. Are you really Mama's friend? I am. Are you nice? I try to be. For important people. Leah considers this. Then she walks over to him. Brave despite her instincts. She's wearing the necklace Elena gave her, a small heart on a chain. Mama says friends help each other. You're helping us be safe. So I think you're nice. Something in Jae-Hoon's expression cracks. He reaches out slowly, carefully, and touches the necklace. This is very pretty. It was my grandmother's. Mama says it means someone always loves me even when I'm scared. That's true. His voice is rough. Someone does. Leah smiles. Then she runs off again, back to cookies and normalcy, and the oblivious resilience of childhood. Jae-Hoon doesn't move for a long moment. Elena watches him process meeting his daughter. Really meeting her. Seeing her personality, her sweetness, everything he's missed. When he finally speaks, his voice is different, lower, almost broken. I would have loved her, if you'd told me. I would have loved her from the first moment, I know. Elena's throat is tight. That's why I didn't tell you. Because love in your world comes with a price, and I didn't want her paying it. But she's paying it anyway, isn't she? Because of your world. The accusation stings because it's true. Elena's choices, her career, her determination to expose corruption, it led here just as surely as staying with Jae-Hoon would have. There's no safe path. There's only different dangers. The next morning, Jae-Hoon calls a meeting with his key people. Viper is there, along with 4 other men Elena doesn't recognize. They look at her with barely concealed distrust. Outsider, journalist, threat. Jae-Hoon doesn't sit. He stands at the head of the table, commanding the room with his presence. We're going to take down the Hale network. Complete dismantling. Every route, every handler, every bribed official. I want evidence gathered on everyone involved. I want financial trails exposed. I want their entire operation visible. Viper frowns. Sir, that kind of exposure, it'll bring attention. Federal attention, that's the point. Jae-Hoon's voice is cold. These people threatened my daughter. I want them destroyed. Not just killed, destroyed. I want their legacies ruined, their families shamed, their empires turned to ash. One of the other men speaks. That's not how I don't care how we usually do things. Jae-Hoon cuts him off. This is different. This is personal. And if anyone in this room has a problem with that, leave now. No one moves. Because crossing Jae-Hoon Kwon is signing a death warrant. Elena watches this display of power with complicated feelings. This is what she ran from. This absolute authority, this willingness to crush people without hesitation. But it's also what's protecting Leah. What's giving them a chance? Jae-Hoon turns to her. You're going to help. You have evidence they don't know you've backed up. Files they think they contained when they raided your apartment. We're going to use everything you have, combine it with our intelligence, and we're going to leak it strategically. Death by 1,000 cuts. Elena nods. What do you need from me? Everything, every source, every document, every piece of evidence you've gathered over the last 3 months. And then you're going to write the story. The real story. The one that connects all the dots. But I'm not publishing. No. He smiles. It's not a nice smile. I am. Through channels that can't be traced back to you. Through outlets that will run with it before anyone can stop them. You're going to expose them from inside your world while I destroy them from inside mine. It's a plan built on mutual destruction, using journalism as a weapon while criminal networks tear each other apart. It's everything Elena built her career fighting against. And she agrees anyway, because Leah is sleeping safely in the next room, because sometimes the only way to fight monsters is to become one. The work takes weeks. Elena reconstructs her investigation from memory and backed up files. Jae-Hoon's people add layers of evidence she never could have accessed. Financial records, shipping manifests, recorded conversations. Together, they build a case so comprehensive, so damning, that no amount of money or influence can bury it. During those weeks, something strange happens. Elena and Jae-Hoon fall into a rhythm, working together, sharing meals, coordinating security for Leah. It's almost domestic, almost normal. Except it's not normal because he's still a criminal kingpin, and she's still the journalist who ran from him, and they're both pretending this temporary alliance isn't built on a foundation of mutual distrust. But Leah changes things. Leah, who starts calling Jae-Hoon Mr. Kwon, and then just Kwon, and then, one morning at breakfast, calls him something else entirely. She's drawing at the table, focused on her art, when she asks him a question. Can you help me spell dangerous? Jae-Hoon moves to sit beside her, guiding her hand as she forms the letters. Like this, see? Dangerous. Leah practices it, then looks up at him. Are you dangerous? Yes. But not to you, never to you. Why not? Because you're mine. The words come out before he can stop them. Simple, possessive, true. Leah considers this. Then, Mama says my daddy wasn't around. But I think if he was, he'd be like you. Jae-Hoon's hand stops moving. Elena freezes in the kitchen doorway. And in that moment, in that innocent statement from a 6-year-old who knows nothing about genetics or complicated history, or the man sitting beside her, the truth becomes undeniable. Jae-Hoon looks at Elena. She looks back, and without words, they both know that Leah will have to learn the truth. Eventually, when this is over, when she's safe, when they figure out how to explain that her father was always around, just hidden by distance and lies and her mother's good intentions. But not now. Not in the middle of this. Now Jae-Hoon just smiles at Leah and says, I think your daddy, wherever he is, must be very proud of you. Leah smiles back. And Elena has to leave the room because her heart is breaking and mending at the same time, and she can't let them see it. The plan goes into motion on a Tuesday. Elena's story drops simultaneously across 5 major outlets: digital, print, broadcast. The headline reads, Inside the Network, How Trusted Journalists Became Traffickers. The evidence is irrefutable. Names, dates, routes, financial transactions. Marcus Hale's face is everywhere. His carefully constructed reputation as a crusading editor crumbles in hours. By Wednesday, federal investigations are opened. Arrests begin. Officials scramble to distance themselves. The network starts eating itself as people flip on each other trying to save themselves. By Thursday, Marcus Hale is in custody. His empire is falling. His associates are being rounded up. Everything he built over 15 years is being systematically destroyed. By Friday, Jae-Hoon receives confirmation that the immediate threat is neutralized. Elena and Leah are safe. They can go home. Except Elena realizes she doesn't know where home is anymore. Savannah is compromised. Her apartment was raided. Her life there is destroyed. And more than that, Leah has spent the last month getting to know the man who is, genetically and now emotionally, her father. Taking her away from him now feels wrong. She finds Jae-Hoon in his office, looking at the Seoul skyline. The same place he was standing when they first arrived. We can go. Elena says it like a question. You can go. He doesn't turn around. You're safe now. The people who threatened you are in custody or dead. I kept my promise. You did. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. He finally turns to face her. She's my daughter. Protecting her is. He stops. Can't finish the sentence. Elena finishes it for him. Protecting her is not a favor. It's your right. Yes. They stand there, separated by the length of his office, separated by 7 years of choices, separated by fundamental differences in how they see the world, but also connected by a 6-year-old girl who has his bone structure and her eyes, and a laugh that makes them both stop whatever they're doing just to listen. Elena takes a breath. I'm not going back to Savannah. Jae-Hoon's expression doesn't change, but she sees hope flicker in his eyes. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. Find a new city, new job, new life. She pauses. Leah wants to stay. She told me this morning. She likes it here. She likes Mrs. Kim. She likes the view. She likes you. What do you want, Elena? It's the question she's been avoiding. What does she want? Safety for Leah, yes. But also, maybe something else. Maybe a chance to see if the man she ran from has become someone different. Maybe a chance to build something new from the ruins of what they had. Maybe a chance to let Leah know her father without lies or distance. I want to stay. For a while. Just until we figure out what's next. Jae-Hoon nods slowly. You can have the guest house. It's private, secure, separate. You and Leah can stay as long as you need. No obligations. No expectations, just safety. Elena knows this is a lie. There are always obligations, always expectations, especially with Jae-Hoon. But she also knows that right now, this moment, this offer, it's the closest thing to a future she can imagine. Okay. Okay. That night, Elena puts Leah to bed in the guest house. It's beautiful, private, exactly what Jae-Hoon promised. Leah is excited about staying, about the new school Jae-Hoon has already arranged, about learning Korean, about everything. Mama, Leah says as Elena tucks her in. Yes, baby, I like it here, I'm glad. And I like Mr. Kwon. I'm glad. Leah hesitates. Then, do you like him? Elena's throat tightens. Yes, I do. Does he like you? I think so. Leah nods, satisfied with this answer. Good. Because I think he'd be a good daddy, if you wanted one. Elena's eyes burn. She kisses Leah's forehead. Hong, go to sleep, baby. We'll figure everything out, tomorrow. After Leah sleeps, Elena walks back to the main house. Jae-Hoon is waiting on the terrace, looking out at the city. She stands beside him. Thank you, for all of this. I meant what I said. He doesn't look at her. I would have loved her from the first moment. I know. I'm sorry I took that from you. Elena's voice breaks. I thought I was protecting her. But all I did was rob her of 6 years with her father, and rob you of 6 years with your daughter. I can't get those years back. No. But maybe. He finally looks at her. Maybe we can have the years ahead. If you want that, do you want that? Yes. The answer is immediate, certain. I want to know her, want to be part of her life, want to be someone she can count on. And, he hesitates, and I want to know if we could have something. If what we had before, if it could become something real. Without lies. Without running. Elena considers this. 7 years ago, she ran because she couldn't reconcile loving him with accepting what he was. Has anything changed? Has he changed? Or has she? Maybe they've both changed. Maybe becoming parents, even separately, has shifted something fundamental. Maybe the world is still dangerous and complicated, but they're both tired of facing it alone. I don't know, Elena says honestly. I don't know if we can make this work, if who you are and who I am can coexist, but I'm willing to try. For Leah. And, she takes a breath. For us. Jae-Hoon takes her hand. Just holds it. It's not a kiss, not a promise, just contact. Just acknowledgement that they're here, together, trying. The city spreads out below them, Seoul at night. Beautiful and dangerous, and full of possibility. Somewhere in that city, the remains of Marcus Hale's network are still being dismantled. Somewhere, people are being freed from containers. Somewhere, justice is being served, messy and complicated and imperfect. And here, in a penthouse above it all, 2 people who once loved each other are learning how to be parents together. How to be partners, maybe. How to build something new from broken pieces. Inside the guest house, Leah sleeps safely, protected by the man who would burn down the world for her, loved by the mother who already has. And tomorrow, when she wakes up, she'll have breakfast with both of them. She'll learn new words in Korean. She'll draw pictures and make Mrs. Kim laugh. She'll be a normal 6-year-old, except she's not normal, because her father is a criminal kingpin, and her mother is the journalist who exposed a trafficking empire, and together they're the most dangerous parents any child could have, but also the most devoted. Elena squeezes Jae-Hoon's hand. He squeezes back. And in that moment, in that simple gesture, they make a choice. To stay. To try. To see if love, complicated and messy, and built on impossible foundations, can be enough. The story doesn't end here. This is just the beginning of something new, something fragile, something worth fighting for. Because some empires fall to violence, others fall to love. And sometimes, just sometimes, love is the most powerful empire of all. If this story moved you, don't just leave quietly. Like the video so more people can find it. Subscribe for more stories where love, danger, and redemption collide. And tell me in the comments, would you have made the same choice?